One of the things about springtime is the opportunity that you have to forage for some really nice springtime only wild edibles. And one of our favorites, most people's favorites, and in fact you can find these things on menus in restaurants, are these guys right here, fiddleheads, which are really easy to identify. Notice the paper, the brown paper that covers those fiddleheads doesn't cover them completely. Now these fiddleheads are too tall. You don't want to harvest fiddleheads that are more than 8 inches high. If only I had been here maybe 3 days ago. But I got me a few fiddleheads I can pull in here and, fry them up and enjoy. But I'm going to grab a few fiddleheads, and they're really easy to harvest. They snap right off. We're snapping them right off, and they clean real easy because the paper falls right off, as you can see. If you're picking a fern that's, I'll show you some other ferns that you don't want to pick because they're not fiddleheads. If you find ferns and the paper doesn't just fall right off, don't pick them. They're not fiddleheads, and they're going to make you sick. There's a nice little clump right here that are perfect for harvest. These are small, and you don't want to take all of them. They're gonna come back though. If you pick one picking of them, all you're doing is really pruning them back, and it makes the roots even stronger. Look at them popping up right there. So I'm gonna grab me this one, and I'll grab a few of those. So we're looking through, and we can see some over there. Gonna grab a few more. Right here, look at that. Look at them. See, the paper just comes right off. Easy to tell fiddleheads. Come over here, grab these. The paper peels right off. These guys are beautiful. Beautiful to harvest. And another way to identify a fiddlehead is that the stem is U-shaped. So you can tell it's a fiddlehead because it's got the U-shaped stem. Fiddleheads are just one thing you look for. You've seen me harvest ramps. I've seen people out harvesting what are clearly not fiddleheads. Not a good idea, because you can get sick. I have a few friends who have reported getting fiddleheads in restaurants and getting sick. I'm looking to get maybe a plate of these, so I don't want to get a ton of them, but enough to have a side later when I cook them up. Maybe I'll catch a rainbow trout to go with them. That would be nice. And I have so many. And I have taken maybe a plate of them. I have a few more. So when you're walking across a spring field like this, look at those apple blossoms blooming. Really, really pretty. But something you got to watch out for is young poison ivy, which is just starting to make its appearance. And a lot of people have problems with it. This is what it looks like in the springtime. It's got that pinkish color to it, and then that wild green. And those ivy leaves are dripping with oils, so that it can be the worst of all poison ivy exposures if you get it in the spring. The only thing I can think of that's any worse would be if you cut the vines and get the sap on you, and I've done that. So, don't do that. I will never do that again. You can see some beautiful ramps that are now starting to die back. You see the leaves are turning yellow, and those ramps are going back under the soil. They're putting up a flower, but it's middle of May right now, and those guys are retreating under the soil, and we'll have to wait for next year to find them again. They only have about a 3-week window where they're available in most places. Depends on where you are and how much sunlight they're getting and the soil temperature. I'm going to grab a few of their leaves to mix with the fiddleheads. So, no morels today, but some fiddleheads and some ramps.